today. It's all Epstein. I mean, it's like nonstop Epstein news today. So depends what you mean. All right, there we go. YouTube. Hello, YouTube. All right. Hello, YouTube. And TikTok, I'm ready. Let me get TikTok going too. We're good across the board here. All right. Dear's TikTok. Teak jerk. Teak jerk. Teak jerk. All right. Woo woo. Welcome. Woo. So anyway, welcome TikTokers. YouTube, Discord. Woo. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fantasy Island. It is Wednesday, November 12th. John Aravosis here. Hey, Ash. So I swear to God, I am going to go out and look for these damn auroras tonight. Everyone around the world got to see the cool auroras. Ashley got to see them in Chicago. People in the South got to see them. People in DC got to see them, but it might have been in the middle of nowhere. So freaking cool. So if anybody has not been paying attention, there is a massive solar flare going on last night and tonight. They're having the same kind of crazy aurora borealis that we had last year. Remember or months ago, the really crazy one? It's happening again. The mic is already, all right, I'm going to unplug and replug. The mic is already on for you guys. It's just not working, but it's on. The mic is already on for you guys. Is it working or what? Or was it just for Big Hawk it wasn't working? Sorry, if this is a question for TikTok. Is my mic being okay now? The mic was plugged in, but it might not have been working. Now it's gone. Oh, TikTok, you're so freaking evil. We're trying one more time, and then we're not going to use the mic tonight because it's just a TikTok problem. Let's see. Kirby, we're going to let it go. Don't worry. Well, no, there you go, because I unplugged it. Now I replugged it in. Yeah. All right. We're not using the mic tonight for TikTok. You're going to have my iPad mic. That's okay. Anybody who complains, mods and everybody else, because people do this throughout the show, every time somebody goes, your mic isn't a good mic, somebody just jump in and say, yeah, it's not working tonight. I mean, it works for the rest of you, so who knows? You know, it drives me crazy though. Yes. Well, so we were talking about the aurora borealis. To last night and tonight. Last night apparently was insane. Ashley had amazing photos. Actually, the mods had a whole bunch of cool. Actually, I'm going to see if I can pull up. Actually, I can pull up on my phone. Duh. Let me pull up one of the mods. If you guys don't mind me showing, I'll pick one that doesn't like show, your house or something. But the coolest freaking photos from the aurora borealis last night, and it is supposed to be happening again tonight. Even if you're in the southern U.S., it's not bad. Like it's apparently it's not bad even in the southern U.S. So go. It should be dark, set between 7 and 10 tonight. Better to see it with your camera than your eyes. Your eyes might be able to see it. Let me pull this up real quick from the mod chat. Let me show, actually, Big Hawk, if you don't mind. Big Hawk's was insane. Oh, this is from this is from a friend's house, a friend's farm, 2 hours northeast of Denver. 2 hours northeast of Denver. Look at this. I mean, now some of these are enhanced because they're photos, right? Oh, that was blue. Sorry, blue. Some of these are enhanced blue. Now, blue. Okay, question for you, blue. Sorry, blue or big? Oh, this is blue. I don't know if blue's here tonight. I'm curious, did the photos look like this, or is this how it looks? Is this how it looks with photos, or is this how it looks for real? Because the photos are better. They were saying definitely use photos to try to capture it. So blue, that's my question for you. Was this like the way it looked, or was this the way your camera picked it up? Just curious. Now, well, Ashley, let me show you. Ashley's in Northern Illinois. Let me show you Ashley's. Ashley's was insane. Not insane, but here's a video of Ashley showing what it looked like. That's not bad. I'll show you guys. I mean, to have it look like that without any augment, sorry, my thing's reflecting. To have it look like that without any augmentation, that's pretty wild. I mean, that's now again. This is how it looked for Ashley. I mean, that's still pretty cool. And the red is considered a little more rare. Oh no, the stuff I've been looking at online of this, oh my God. Anyway, huge. Kirby, I'm live on TikTok. I'm there. Huge tonight, the auroras. It was huge last night. Check again from 7 to 10 o'clock at night. Those are my lights in the background, but they'll look like that potentially. So I'm gonna just go walk around the neighborhood and see. I doubt I'm gonna see anything, but nothing you can really do about it. But you try to do a slow photo with your camera and see what happens. Anyway, welcome everybody. Tonight's news is kind of Epstein heavy. Not that we oppose. There wasn't a lot of other. It's a lot of Epstein news. There isn't a lot of other news at all. Ukraine. I looked. Ain't no news from Ukraine. I mean, there's a big corruption scandal going on, but I'm kind of not in the mood to talk about that. Just because you know what I mean. Like that's a Debbie Downer. But the Epstein stuff we're going to talk about. So welcome everybody. I'm John Aravosis. This is my show. We talk about the latest news from America and the world. A little bit of an American perspective because that's who I am. Yeah, crazy. The Epstein news today. Do keep the gifts coming, guys. I appreciate your gifts. I appreciate your support. This is my show I do for a living. This is a real show, so to speak. So all of you guys supporting me always means a lot to me. So I appreciate that. So let's get going. So the Epstein stuff. Representative Grijalva, Adelita Grijalva, was finally sworn in today. Thank you, Jocelyn. Thank you, Luis. She is the Democratic representative that won in the House of Representatives in Arizona back in September. The House Republicans refused to swear her in. So she has been missing. Thank you, Andre. They literally refused to let her serve as a member of Congress for a month and a half. Horrific. And she finally got sworn in today. She immediately signed the Epstein petition, which we'll talk about. She was the final vote needed. Here's what it does. House of Representatives procedure is very complicated. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Jocelyn. I worked in the United States Senate, so I understand Senate procedure. Even that sometimes is hard. I mean, it's always hard, but sometimes I can't figure it out. House procedure is not my cup of tea, but I can talk to you about what we know. So in the House of Representatives, there's a very complicated procedure for bringing legislation up. And it's made that way so that the majority party controls what legislation comes up for a vote. And, you can't force them usually to bring the stuff up. Well, the majority party doesn't want the Epstein files to come up for a vote. The vote would be to force the government, the Department of Justice, to make public all the Epstein files, right? Jeffrey Epstein. And Trump doesn't want it. The Republican Party overall doesn't want it, but some of them do. Well, what some people are trying to do in the House, the Democrats and 4 Republicans, is force a vote on releasing the Epstein files. And in the House, you can do that by having what's called a discharge petition. If you can get a majority of House members to vote for a discharge petition, it will force a vote on any topic, on any piece of legislation. Well, there are enough people now to force a vote on releasing the Epstein files. Grijalva, the Democrat, was the last one today when she got signed in. Now the petition has to wait a period of like 6 weeks, 5-6 weeks. It has to ripen, it's called in congressional terms. And once it ripens in 5 or 6 weeks, they will have a vote. And with that vote, if it passes the House of Representatives, it will force the government to I don't quite understand how this works, but somehow it forces the government to release the files. Like I said, it still confuses the hell out of me, the process. But bottom line is, the Epstein files will be released. At least a lot of them will be released. Well, Trump is freaking out, which is fascinating. There's only 4 Republicans who have signed on to releasing the Epstein files. They are Lauren Boebert. Remember Lauren Boebert, the handsy one from Colorado? Representative Tom Massey of Kentucky, Taylor Greene of Georgia, and Nancy Mace of South Carolina. Remember Nancy Mace? She's the one who hates transgender people. This is kind of fascinating. So Trump is so freaking out about this. And this is what's fascinating. Trump is so freaking out about this that he had a meeting with Lauren Boebert today to try to convince her to remove her name from the petition, because or the legislation, because if she removes her name, they don't have enough votes to force the Epstein files to be free, to be made public. Okay, Trump had the meeting with Lauren Boebert in the Situation Room. Now, you know, anybody who pays attention to politics and to Washington will know what the Situation Room is. You'll see it in every TV show, every movie about the White House. The Situation Room is a like super secret room tied into the world with all the TV screens of the generals and the this and the that. And it's a room you have when a situation comes up. It's the room you have when a crisis comes up, when there's a coup d'etat, when we think the Russians may be ready to declare war on us. It's the room you have for crises, but it's a war. Okay, Borg just said it's a war room. That's probably the best way to put it. It's a war room, but it's a war room. It's not a war room meaning where we strategize. It's a war room where we talk about war, nuclear war. Okay. It's not a room you have meetings about, planning the right White House Christmas party, right? The Situation Room is literally, there's an incredibly important national security situation, and we need the president and all the top advisors and the generals connected to figure out what's happening. They held the meeting with Lauren Boebert in the Situation Room to try to convince her not to release the Epstein files. That is so screwed up on a number of levels. I mean, it's weird. It's just freaking weird. Thank you, Carrie. Also, it suggests that Trump considers the release of the Epstein files to be a crisis akin to nuclear war with Russia. I mean, it's crazy. Again, if this man is innocent, what the hell is he so afraid of? I'm going to read you more about this in a second, but I want to sort of step back a second and just remind folks of what's going on with this issue. So Trump promised during the campaign, thank you, Blue, and thank you, David and Terry. Trump promised during the campaign, thank you, Eddie, he was going to release the Epstein files. And it was a big promise. All of his supporters were on board, blah, blah, blah. He comes into office and still continues to promise, including his Department of Justice. And his Department of Justice even did a big fanfare. They did special folders. Epstein released part 1. They were going to release the files. Well, somehow, a couple months ago, the Department of Justice changed its mind and suddenly said, oh no, we're not going to release the Epstein files. And they were in the middle of releasing them, and they even made special folders about the Epstein files, right? It was going to be a whole thing. And then suddenly they stopped and said, we're not going to do it. And this was a big issue for Republicans, MAGA especially. And they said, why? And Department of Justice and the FBI, after having said publicly, oh yeah, we're going to release the files, including his client list. Pam Bondi, Department of Justice head, Attorney General, specifically said, oh yeah, I've got the file on my desk that shows who Jeffrey Epstein's clients were, who he was using to sleep with all these underage girls. And I've got the file on my desk and I'm reviewing it to release it. She then claimed a few weeks later, we're not going to release anything because there is no file. There is no information. There's no client list. There's nothing. And everybody went, what do you mean there's nothing? You literally testified 3 weeks ago that it was on your desk. Not only the file was on your desk, but the specific details, including the client list, were on your desk, you said, and you were about to release it. Right? Right? Okay, John, over on YouTube, you better get used to it. John's upset over on YouTube because the show's about Trump every day. I mean, it's sort of like, the dinosaurs and the asteroid fell, the volcanoes were going off and the world was ending. And the other dinosaurs said, I used to like you, but you talk about the end of the world a lot. Let's talk about the baseball game, So yeah, I don't mean to be rude, but that's an obnoxious thing to say. If you don't appreciate the fact that the crisis of Donald Trump as president is the worst thing to happen to the world probably since World War II, then you're listening to the wrong show. So quite simply. So let's go on with this. So Pam Bondi, not to mention, I will say this. Interesting that you're upset that I'm talking about how Trump is hiding the Epstein files. That should tell you something, that you're upset about that and you think the show is ruined because we're talking about hiding the fact that Donald Trump may have committed horrific crimes. Let's just keep that in mind. So, so the promises. So she now says, oh, there are no files. There are no files. We're not going to release them. There's no files. And everyone's going, bullshit. What happens then? A week or two later, Trump goes, oh, there's files, but they're all lies. They're all Democratic lies. And I can't release them because it's filled with lies. And again, we kind of went, okay, little confused, because a week ago, you said you couldn't release the files because there were no files. There was no information. There was no client list. 2 weeks before that, you said the client list was on your desk and you were reviewing it and about to release it to the public. But now you're saying, oh, first the client list was on your desk and you were going to release it. Then there was no client list, so you couldn't release it. And now the client list was a fake created by Democrats, he claimed, and he wasn't going to release it because it was a fake. As I've said repeatedly on the show, if someone keeps giving you a hoax, exactly, it was a hoax. Thank you, Carol. If someone keeps giving you different reasons for why they're not doing something or why they're doing something, but they keep giving you different reasons, they're lying. I mean, they're just lying. And mods, get rid of that person. Seriously, the watermelon person is going. Like, you're obnoxious. The anti-Semitic crap is not going to stand here. Watermelon's blocked. No, not 5 minutes. They're gone for the show. Yeah. That stuff just pisses me off. Yeah, I want that person gone for the whole show. So it gets to where we are today. Okay, gets to where we are today, and Trump is flipping the F out, absolutely flipping the F out about the fact that new Epstein emails were released today by the Democrats. I'm going to read you a little bit about this. Let me tell you what Trump said, and then I'm going to read the emails. The Democrats are trying to bring up the Jeffrey Epstein hoax again because they'll do anything at all to deflect on how badly they've done on the shutdown and so many other subjects. I like that. He couldn't even think of any other examples. So he couldn't give the other examples. Oh, thank you, Mario, for the gift membership. WC, you got the gift membership from Mario. Thank you. That was very sweet of you. He couldn't even think of any other examples of Democrats not doing things well. So he goes, the shutdown and so many other subjects. There's so many other subjects. I can't even list them. I can't even list any of them, apparently. That's how many subjects there are. He said that it's only a very bad or stupid Republican who would fall into that trap. Well, okay, the one Republican who fell into the trap of thinking that the Epstein files mattered was Donald Trump. Donald Trump ran on it. Thank you, Garden Girl. Donald Trump ran on it on a platform of making the Epstein files public because he thought they were important. Trump's people at the White House went through the files, and the Justice Department went through the files and suddenly decided that there was no way in hell they were going to make these files public. Knowing Donald Trump does not do things selflessly. Donald Trump did not change his mind and freak out in order to hide these files because he was afraid the files were going to hurt Democrats. He is not hiding these files because he's afraid the files are going to hurt Republicans. Donald Trump doesn't care about other Republicans. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, DKH. Kim, especially for the cool gift. I think the only logical explanation of why somebody would freak out and change their mind and say, I am never going to make this file public, and freaking out and saying, you're a bad Republican if you do it, it's a hoax, is because there's something about you in the file. Now, it's possible it's fake, I guess. It's possible. A little suspicious, though. And the emails coming out today suspect that I will read you today's emails. Okay. So today's emails, a number of the Democrats released the emails. Some of them were between that journalist, Michael with a W. What's his name? I'm already forgetting his name. I want to give him some credit, but Michael Wolf. Some of them are his, some are not. But let me read you the emails. So the emails are like Jeffrey Epstein, some other people, including Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell speaking with Jeffrey Epstein, 2011. Ghislaine is the woman in prison for being Jeffrey Epstein's accomplice who found him all the underage girls, right? So Ghislaine Maxwell, thank you, Wolf, for the gift. Thank you, Carrie. Mario sent in more gift memberships for Kindhearted. Thank you, Mario. Actually, Kindhearted's a good one because we saw Kindhearted making kind comments earlier. So thank you for that. Listen to this. Jeffrey Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell, 2011. I want you to realize that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Victim spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. Police chief, etc. I'm 70. In 75% there. In 75, I think it said, hold on. I need to double check if it's in or I'm. I thought it said I'm, but I'm going to double check. One moment. I think my computer may have copied it poorly. Yes, I'm 75% there. Let me read it to you again. Epstein says to Ghislaine Maxwell, his accomplice, I want you to realize that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Donald Trump. Victim spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. Police chief, etc. To me, that sounds like Trump has never been mentioned with regards to this whole scandal. Even the police chief, etc., has not mentioned Trump. He says, I'm 75% there. Again, we're just trying to interpret this. It sounds like Epstein saying, I'm 75% there towards going public myself to mention that Trump spent hours with one of the victims at my house, according to Epstein, right? Ghislaine Maxwell responds, I've been thinking about that. I have been thinking about that. For her to say, I've been thinking about that, suggests that she is agreeing with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, thank you, Jane. Very cool TikTok gift there. Red carpet. Thank you. It means she's agreeing with him. Now, the problem is Epstein did mention multiple things in the email, so it's not clear whether Maxwell is agreeing with all of it or some of it, right? Mario did another one. Thank you, Mario. Let's see who this one. It may be sitting on it for a minute. Oh, there we go. Oh, Borg Q got it. Okay. Borg's been a good one too. So, and a great name for Borg. So it's not clear what she's agreeing with, but she's saying at least some of what you said is true. I've thought about it too. In a separate 2019 email released by House Democrats, Epstein told author Michael Wolff that his ex-friend Donald Trump, quote, knew about the girls. We don't know what Epstein meant when he said Trump knew about the girls, but Epstein was again, I'm trying to be careful because TikTok doesn't like these words. Epstein was somebody who got into trouble for doing very bad things to underage girls. And Ghislaine Maxwell went to prison for being his accomplice who found him the girls. So when Epstein says Trump knew about the girls, it makes you wonder what exactly he meant. I don't want to guess because I don't want to get in trouble legally, but you all can guess on your own what he meant, right? And again, just because Epstein says it doesn't make it true, but saying it privately is a little more interesting because, like, if he were lying, then why not lie publicly? Why lie in emails that are getting hidden, right? Because these emails this email's from 2019. It's 6 years ago. Why hide, right? Mario, take my money. Take your money, Mario. Thank you. You're being very generous today, Mario. I appreciate it. Thank you. A little bit more here. In a text chain with an unidentified person in December 2018, that person wrote to Epstein, "It will all blow over. They're really just trying to take down Trump and doing whatever they can to do that." Epstein replied, "Yes, thanks. It's wild because I'm the one able to take him down." Now, again, you don't know what Epstein's referring to. Is he referring to financial matters? Is he referring to personal matters? Is he referring to personal crimes? I mean, we don't know, right? But interesting. Epstein said of Donald Trump in 2018 in an email thread about Trump's former personal lawyer and fixer Michael Cohen, "I know how dirty Donald is." Now, in this case, the reference seems to be when you say I know how dirty somebody is, meaning they're crooked. They do criminal behavior, right? They do dirty behavior, not necessarily the girl thing. The White House responds today. Caroline Levitt, Caroline Levitt responds, these emails prove absolutely nothing other than the fact that President Trump did nothing wrong. Okay. The emails don't prove anything. Well, that's not really true, actually. The emails are evidence that Donald Trump spent several hours at Jeffrey Epstein's house with one of the underage victims. That's interesting. It doesn't mean Trump did spend several hours with one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims at Jeffrey Epstein's house. It means that Jeffrey Epstein claimed privately to Ghislaine Maxwell that it was true. And I will say, in trying to analyze whether something's true or not, it is certainly, there is more credibility to something that you would potentially tell somebody privately, I would think, right? Going public, if you're doing it privately, you can't say, oh, he lied about me to make me look bad. Well, privately though, and she responded that she knew about it already is what Maxwell appeared to respond, right? But the fact that Epstein was having this private conversation with his accomplice sounds like they're discussing details of the crimes, right? Which are things, if you're talking, put it this way, if you're talking to your accomplice about details of your crimes, you usually don't make them up and agree with each other. You usually don't tell a lie, and then the accomplice goes, oh yeah, I've been thinking about that too, right? I mean, the accomplice would go, what the F are you talking about, Jeffrey? Why are you mentioning that? That's a lie, right? So that's certainly interesting. So for the White House to say, A, it doesn't prove Trump is guilty, it is certainly evidence of Trump spending hours with one of the victims at Epstein's house. It doesn't prove he did it. It also doesn't prove he committed a crime if he did it. But it's evidence. It is evidence of that. The second thing is, it only proves his innocence? No, there's literally nothing in the files released today, nothing in the emails released today that proves Trump is innocent. I mean, nothing exonerates Trump. Absolutely nothing that was written today. Just to clarify that. What else we have now? The White House, interestingly, the White House says today, thank you, Big Hawk, and thank you, Denise. The White House said today that they are not considering a pardon, which is interesting because that's the first time that Trump has been sort of more explicitly admitting that he's not considering a pardon for Jeffrey Epstein, for Ghislaine Maxwell. That's interesting because it sort of suggests that Trump is getting worried, which is good. All right, that's it on the Epstein stuff. There's a little more news we're going to go through, but on the Epstein stuff, very interesting. So we're going to have to wait until early December for the vote to happen to release the files. It's still possible before then that Trump is able to convince. Well, let me ask actually this. Somebody who I can ask ChatGPT. I don't think it's going to know House procedure, but I can ask it and we can try. Okay, hey boyfriend. So I've got a U.S. House of Representatives procedure question for you, parliamentary procedure. I do not want you to answer this question unless you know the answer. If you're not sure of the answer, you need to tell me you're not sure of the answer, okay? You cannot give me an answer that you're not 100% sure about. My question is twofold. One, the vote on the discharge petition regarding the Jeffrey Epstein files. Who is this legislation compelling to release files? Is this the Department of Justice? How does it even work though? Because it would have to be the House and Senate with the president signing it normally, right? For a law to be enacted that requires something. So how does it literally work? Who is it compelling and what is it compelling be made public? And the second thing I'm trying to figure out is with regards to the discharge petition, it has its 218 signatures today. It's going to take 5 or 6 weeks to ripen before a floor vote. Can one of those members who signed it remove their name from it and suddenly the petition is no longer valid? Or now that they've signed it, it's a done deal?
Understood. You want a completely confident answer. So let me start by saying this. I'm very certain about the general mechanics of a discharge petition and how it works in the U.S. House. If anything here were just a guess, I'll label it, but I'm aiming for high confidence. So first about that Epstein-related discharge petition. If such a petition is indeed in play, it's basically a procedural tool in the House of Representatives. A discharge petition is used to force a bill out of committee and onto the floor for a vote. It needs the signatures of a majority of House members, 218. Once that threshold is met, and the petition ripens, which usually takes about 7 legislative days, not several weeks, the bill is brought to the floor. Now, as for who the legislation is compelling, typically a bill like this would name a specific agency. In a case involving files related to someone like Epstein, it might direct the Department of Justice or possibly the FBI to release certain investigative records. You're right that for any such directive to become law, it would normally have to pass both the House and the Senate and be signed by the president. A discharge petition doesn't change that requirement. It just forces the House to vote on the bill. If it passed the House, it would still need to go through the usual legislative process. Finally, can a member remove their name from a discharge petition? Yes, a member can technically withdraw their signature before the petition is actually called up for consideration. If that happens and it drops below 218 signatures, the petition wouldn't be valid anymore. So yes, a signature isn't irrevocable until it's actually acted upon. I'm confident in that explanation. If anything was less certain...
Okay, no, that was good. I guess the thing that's bothering me is all the news, and again, I want to make sure you're right about this. All the news reporting has been presenting this as though if this petition ripens and it forces a vote on the release of the files, that the files will be released. Nobody has suggested that the Senate has to pass equal legislation, and certainly nobody suggested that Donald Trump needs to sign it into law. No one's been saying that. Are you sure that's the case?
Absolutely fair question, and I appreciate you pushing for total clarity. So let me label this as high confidence. Yes, in normal legislative practice, for anything to become a binding law that compels a federal agency, it does indeed have to pass the Senate and be signed by the president. A discharge petition in the House alone just forces the House to vote on it. It doesn't bypass the rest of the process. Now, you're pointing out that the media is talking as if the files would automatically be released just from the House vote. I can say with high confidence that the media might be simplifying it.
Well, you know what? Do me a favor, and I want you to now review the media on this, the media from the last couple weeks, and double check what they're claiming the process is if they talk about the process. They keep saying Department of Justice files, but see if they mention the Senate, see if they mention the president vetoing, see if they mention the rest of the process.
So here's the scoop. The media coverage does confirm that the House discharge petition is about getting the Department of Justice to release certain Epstein-related files. But yes, they do typically gloss over the fact that the Senate and the president would also need to agree.
Okay, what I asked you specifically was, is there any article you can find that specifically confirms that this is something where the Senate has to pass something and the president has to sign it?
So yes, I found a source that makes it clear. Even if the House forces a vote and passes it, the Senate would indeed have to pass the same measure and the president would have to sign it.
What's your source?
Sure thing. For example, there's a piece from a major political outlet that explicitly notes that while the House discharge...
What is your source? I want to know the name.
Absolutely. The source I found is a recent article from Politico. They specifically mention that for the files to be released under this kind of legislation, the Senate would indeed need to pass a corresponding...
Can you actually give me the quote from the Politico article?
Certainly. Here's the relevant part from Politico. They stated, even if the House succeeds in bringing the discharge petition to a floor vote and passing it, the measure would still require approval by the Senate and the president's signature to actually compel the Department of Justice to release the files.
And what do you need as a vote in the House and the Senate to override a presidential veto?
To override a presidential veto, you need a 2/3 majority vote in both the House and the Senate. So in the House, that means at least 290 votes out of the 435 members.
And right now they've only got 218 votes and they need 290.
Exactly. Yeah. Right now, if they've got just the 218 signatures needed to force the House vote, that's a simple majority to get
the reason I'm being skeptical is everybody is reporting on the discharge petition forcing the files to be released, guys. I know I'm right about this. Because even I didn't think about it till right now. I was going, wait a minute. The House just can't pass something that forces the Department of Justice. The House can now what the House can do, the House can pass something that forces the House to release all the files that it's got, perhaps, right? That's possible. But this isn't, I still feel like there's something missing here because everything has been saying that, oh, the files will be released, and I remember it saying Department of Justice though. And why is Trump freaking out about it? Actually, one final question. This House discharge petition isn't ordering the House to release its own files on Epstein that the House committees have. Is that part of it? Or is it only the Department of Justice?
It's a good question, and I'll keep this at high confidence. The discharge petition, as it's been described, is specifically about compelling the Department of Justice to release certain Epstein-related files. It doesn't include any directive for the House itself to release its own committee documents.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah. This is weird. This story is annoying me, though, I have to say, right? I'm not convinced we're going to see the files, guys. And why is Trump freaking out about the discharge petition if, I mean, I guess he feels like it just makes him look bad that a majority of the House says, we want you to release these documents, right? I can't imagine the Senate. The Senate's not going to pass that legislation. They'd probably need 60 votes in the Senate. I mean, that's not going to happen. Every Democrat plus 13 Republicans or whatever. I mean, no, this is very weird. You get it. I mean, again, what's bothering me is it only hit me right now because every news story is presenting it as a fact that, once Grijalva signs the discharge petition, all the documents will be released, right? And I was thinking, yeah. And then I started thinking, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. Yeah. Anyway, this is bugging me. Yeah, it's bugging me. Anyway. All right, more news, a little bit other news tonight. The House is expected to vote tonight, although maybe they're doing it right now, on ending the shutdown, but it was going to be happening this evening. This was great. Listen to this. Trump's directive to change the name of the Pentagon and make it the Department of War. Guess how much money it's going to cost? $2 billion. Billion with a B. This was, I think, from NBC News. Trump's directive to change the name of the Department of Defense to the Department of War could cost as much as $2 billion, according to 6 people with knowledge of the potential cost. The name change, which must be approved by Congress, would require replacing thousands of signs, placards, letterheads, and badges, as well as any other items at U.S. military sites around the world that feature the Department of Defense name, according to two senior Republican congressional staffers, 2 senior Democratic congressional staffers, and 2 other people briefed on the cost. New department letterhead and signage alone could cost about $1 billion, according to 4 senior congressional staffers and one of the people briefed on the cost. One of the biggest contributors to the cost of changing the name would be rewriting digital code for all of the department's internal and external facing websites. I love this. One of the biggest costs is changing the names on the websites, as well as other computer software on classified and unclassified system, said 4 congressional staffers. I love it. I absolutely love it. Trump's bullshit changing the name of the Department of Defense is going to cost upwards of $2 billion. I mean, he spends, thank you, Mario, he spends so much freaking money. Left and right, this man spends our money, and he doesn't care. I mean, man, absolutely unbelievable. I was going to say drunken sailor. Yeah, exactly. Anyway. All right. So let's hang. That's it for the news. There ain't news tonight. I already checked the Ukraine news. There is literally no Ukraine news other than the corruption investigation. And honestly, I'll let other people talk about Ukraine corruption problems because it's a problem, but it isn't relevant as far as I'm concerned for the war effort. I mean, it's relevant. Let them investigate it, but you know what I mean? I think it's I think it's depressing. So there's no news about Ukraine. I tried. There's just not a lot of news going on right now. So anyway, so who needs to approve the name change? Congress needs to approve the name change. B. Yeah. So Trump was bullshit. Again, Trump was bullshitting when Trump said, we've changed the name of the Department of Defense to the Department of War. No, they didn't. No, he didn't. The CR passed. Okay. Well, we assumed that was going to tonight. Yep. So the government officially is back open, I think. I mean, it should be immediate, I think. I don't think it's possible anything's going to happen on the Epstein stuff. It makes no sense. Again, I'm kind of blown away by this whole Jeffrey Epstein thing. The name change, I mean, the problem is the name change could get slipped into other legislation. That's my concern. They could slip it into other legislation, and then it's a problem. Let me see. House discharge petition, Epstein, Senate veto. All right. Let's see. Let me, oops. I'm going to require the word veto to be in here. Let's see. All right. All right. Just reading this here. Oh, they're terrible. Again, I'm reading this, and none of these stories actually are giving the details about the damn petition, about the discharge petition. Amazing. Yeah. This is absolutely crazy. Let's look at the Hill, which used to cover the Hill well. Here we go. The Hill got it right. The Hill was a very good publication covering Capitol Hill. It still exists. Even if it passes in the House, it faces an uphill climb to become law, as it would have to pass in the Republican-controlled Senate before making it to Trump's desk. So I'm actually kind of bummed out about this. I mean, guys, none of the news stories have been explaining this. I mean, it's not just me, right? Did you all not think that this was going to force the files to be released? Like the way I thought it was some weird House thing, right? I mean, you knew. I like Loyal Blonde. Loyal Blonde knew. Loyal Blonde knew. So, yeah, no, all the articles I've been reading made it sound like, oh no, this is some House thing that's going to force files to be released. Yeah. Anyway, now it still does put the Republicans in a bind because it puts Senate Republicans in a bind. It makes Trump look bad, Anyway. Oh, la 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 la. Oh well. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Anyway. So, what else? Anyway, so now we hang. This is the part of the show we hang. So, yeah, I don't think they're going to release the documents. I don't think so. It is a slow news day. There's no other news today. I mean, I checked the news. The news has all been about Epstein, the Congress reopening. We know that. But there's no other news otherwise. So, you guys aren't doing your job. Hello. Thank you, Candy. No one else is. I told you all, when people ask about the microphone, somebody jump in and say the microphone is being fitsy today. It's not working with TikTok. We don't know why. I could always I'm going to reboot my iPad later. Maybe that'll fix it. Well, no, you're listening on my iPad microphone right now. You're not getting my good microphone. The good microphone is only YouTube and Discord right now. It wasn't working for TikTok. So sadly. Oh man. Anyway. Anyway. Well, glad it sounds good for you, Deb. Appreciate that. The real Deb. The real Deb. So what else? What else? What else? So, I mean, again, happy to talk about any news you guys want to talk about. Aaron said more Republicans are signing the discharge petition. Okay. Nobody yet. I mean, that'd be nice if they do. Yep. The Auroras. I know I will check my little buddy. He's not my buddy, but I wish he were. Matthew Capucci, who is just like the most amazing weatherman extraordinaire. And Matthew is doing a lot today about the Auroras. Matthew, here we go. Let's see.
Northern Lights round 2 possible tonight. We had widespread displays last night, Tuesday night, and again, another severe to extreme geomagnetic storm is possible tonight. That's a level 4 out of 5 on the Space Weather Prediction Center's geomagnetic storm scale. And if we get a G5, that's only happened once since 2005. Regardless, I expect the aurora to shine over most of the lower 48, but you will have to be strategic given cloud cover. Now, last night, our friends in Minnesota and Wisconsin saw the corona effect. The northern lights
Look at that.
directly overhead. They were
Crazy.
standing beneath pillars. Our friend N-Dog in Minnesota saw a rare orange color from the reds and the greens mixing. And then we had reports of reds all the way down to like Florida, Texas, and New Mexico. It's all thanks to this sunspot 4274. For days, it's been throbbing and
It's a long video of Matt. I don't want to show off Matt's thing, but 6 p.m. update. 6 p.m. update. The leading edge of the magnetic shock wave has been underwhelming thus far. Reducing the chance of a widespread auroral display. That could change as we get deeper into the coronal mass ejection, but so far this is less than ideal. That could change, but so yeah, less than ideal. Oh, that's not good. All right, well, let's see. It's not as good what we're seeing. So hopefully, hopefully it changes, but a little nervous about this, Oh well. I've only seen the aurora that I can recall. I have to think about this. I only recall seeing it on a plane once to Europe, and back when we'd fly Iceland Air and we'd go really far north. And I remember we were flying over Greenland, I think, and it was dark out, and it was green. The aurora was green, and it looked like fingers. And I remember it was like pulsating fingers, like literally like a cat was kneading something, right? These fingers were just coming in and out like this. It was and the plane was asleep, and I'm looking out the window going, oh my God, it was the coolest freaking thing. I mean, I've spent a lot of time in Alaska, but thank you, Bowie. But at one point, I've only been like 2 weeks in Alaska, probably. I haven't been in Alaska, any longer than that at any one time. 3 weeks, maybe. I don't think it's 3 weeks, though. Maybe 3 weeks. The lady who took over her dad's seat was sworn in today. Yes. You saw it in North Carolina? Oh, Callum, Mikey saw it in North Carolina. I was telling Callum last night, I think this guy making biscuits. Yep. I was telling Callum last night that people could see it. He could not see it in North Carolina. So what do you do? You see them in Scotland? Oh, I'm sure you see them in Scotland. Yeah, Callum's told me about that before too, Beaver. Yeah. It's supposed to be really, up there, I'm sure. But bums me out because I don't think we have clouds tonight. But if I see reports that it's I see it a lot. Arctic Legacy sees it a lot. Yeah, but you're very far up in Alaska. You're very far up in Canada. Where is Callum in North Carolina? I don't think he probably would want to say that publicly just because, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he would. I always forget the name of the town he's in anyway. So it's up to Callum if he wants to say what part of the state he's in. I don't know if he's here. Usually he's here hiding or something. So I don't know if he's here today. Usually I mention him and he's like, I'm here. So we'll see. But I'll let him say if he wants to say. Overcast and raining in Ireland. I guess that's normal. Right? Oh, boy. The last penny was printed today? Get out, was it? Oh, I didn't know that. The last penny was printed today. Wow. That's a bummer. Yes, this blue shirt was one of my dad's shirts, but who knew Dad had good taste? My dad, Dad was okay, but Dad wore dad clothes. But I saw this and I was like, ooh. And then I tried it on and I went, ooh. Like for a dad shirt, it works. Yeah. And I think it's not too dad. You know what I mean? Considering Dad was 87 when he died, it's not quite an 87-year-old shirt, so it's not too bad. But yeah, it's a good shirt. No, I like it too. It's a nice. Also, it's funny when you do a show like this, it's flannel. Yeah. You worry about how things look. I mean, it's basically, I think visuals matter, especially I think for my videos overall, they matter, but I think especially the lives, I think it matters how the lighting looks. And even here now, you guys, you've got the light on my face and the light's reflecting. And I just think having it look pretty helps. I don't know. I know when I watch people's lives, I like if the lives look nicer. I like, which I don't have, but I like when people have got the lights strung behind them and stuff. I think it's cute. Like, I find it very quaint when people do that kind of stuff. You know, when they do the lights in their background of their room, their bedroom and stuff. I think it's cute. But I was thinking of doing that like for the holidays, like getting holiday lights. I mean, I've got lights, but I don't have lights like for the TV area or anything. I have to decide if I'm going to do that or not for Christmas. But then we will do our Christmas decoration show where I put I go live to decorate my tree, which will be over there. So that'll be fun. And then hang up the huge ornaments that get to hang from my overhead my shelf here. So that'll be fun. Maybe I'll do it Thanksgiving week. Usually I wait till after Thanksgiving. Like, I feel like it's a little early right now to put up the tree, but Thanksgiving week, maybe that's, I don't know. Thank you, Jeremy. I don't know if it's too early or not. Anyway. Oh boy. What else? My pot pie was delicious. My first pot pie ever that I made. It was excellent. I'm shocked, but I'm glad. So that was good. It was very good, actually. So I was very impressed with myself for that one. So that was good. I was expecting it to be kind of but that was good. Third week of December. Really? That's no fun, Ash. You got to put it up early so you can enjoy it. Because the problem is, like, after Christmas, it's a downer. Like December 26th is like, right? You need the tree up before Christmas for my tastes, What is a pot pie? Oh, Claire is English. Or British. It's, you guys make these. It would be a pie crust filled with meat and possibly vegetables and a sauce. So you'd make and gravy basically, and it cooks kind of firm so you can cut it up, but it's a meat pie so that it's a meal and it's not sweet like a shepherd's pie. It's like a shepherd's pie, I guess. Yeah. Although shepherd's pie, well, yes, like a shepherd's pie. That is a very good, a pasty. Is that what they're called? Just a pie. Well, yes, but in America, a pie means dessert. You wouldn't call that a pie. I wouldn't call a pot pie a pie. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Do the other Americans agree with me? Right? A pot pie is not a pie. A pie is a dessert that is sweet. I wouldn't say I made a pie last night. I did not make a pie last night. I made a pot pie. Yeah, because if you say you made a pie, it means you made an apple pie, a cherry pie, a chocolate pie, all right? But you made a sweet dessert. Yeah, in America at least. It's a pot pie. Yep. I don't even think you'd say a chicken pie or a steak pie. To me, that sounds British, like a steak pie. You know what I mean? I'd say a steak pot pie. I think I told Callum steak pie because he's not American anyway. So I figured he wouldn't know the correct terminology, right? But it's a pie in Scotland. A sweet pie is sweet. Oh, that's interesting. Versus a savory pie or whatever. That's interesting. Interesting. Yeah. No, not here. A pizza pie. That's a different thing too. Exactly. A pizza pie is not a pie. Yep. Oh, that's right. Shepherd's pie has mashed potatoes. I forgot about that. Yeah, no, this has a crust. A pot pie has a crust. You can either do crust top and bottom or crust just on. I did just on top to be a little healthier, but a good pot pie would have crust on the bottom and then crust on top. So it looks like an apple pie or a cherry pie or whatever, but it actually is filled with the meat. So Jaffa cakes, I don't know. I like sweet potato or pumpkin pie, frankly. Yeah, I don't know if in English we would say pies can be savory. I mean, maybe. I'd have to think of what kind of a pie would be savory. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, Paula, you'd say it because you're British. Yeah, we would say chicken pie or steak pie. Yeah. Well, that's why I said, like, I told Callum steak pie because somehow in the back of my head, steak pie for Brits made sense. I don't know why. Whereas for an American, I don't think you'd say a steak pie. I'd say a steak pot pie. Yeah. Or a pot pie with steak. Probably even more likely, right? Right? Yeah, meat pies per se are going to be savory unless you're British and you make mincemeat or something gross. you know. Um, oh, that's right, Andre. I forgot about. Oh my God, I was going to do a video on this and I forgot. Well, let me give the dog water and then we're going to talk about Italian imports. Totally forgot about that. Oh, no more water. Oh, you got water. There you go. All right. So this is fascinating. So Trump put 100% tariffs on Italian food coming into the U.S., and it looks like it's going to basically kill Italian pasta completely. The Italians are talking about removing all of their pasta from the U.S. Store shelves. Now, anybody who knows pasta will tell you Italian pasta is really good. American pasta is okay. American, I don't know any. I mean, maybe there's some American pasta that's really good, but generally speaking, I buy American pasta when it's cheaper because what the hell sometimes, but it's not the good stuff. The good stuff is Italian. The Italians are quite literally talking about removing, guys, he put 100% tariff. That is 100% tax that the store has to pay, the importer, or you have to pay, doubling the price of pasta. Horrible. But is it only pasta? I read pasta. I wasn't sure if it was other Italian food too, Andre and company. Well, but Barilla is made in the US, I think. So I was just reading this, so it might be okay. Barilla is not exactly considered good Italian pasta, but also I think it's made in the US. The stuff here, I think so. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. So and the only thing is, I don't know whether it's justified. It might be. The Italians have been doing all sorts of weird, non-tariff barriers to American food and stuff, and I just don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say because this is the problem. Since you're dealing with Donald Trump, you can't really trust anything he says. So you don't know if the Italians did anything wrong just because Trump says so, right? Now, what is a good Italian pasta brand? Di Cecco. Di Cecco is a wonderful, but it's expensive. But if you ever see it on sale, I will show you. You should buy some. I got this on sale. This is an excellent Italian brand of pasta. Di Cecco. It's not cheap anymore, but if you buy it on sale, it's not bad. So I like whenever there's a super sale, I buy several of these. I mean, that I think is a brand years ago that I had Italians tell me that's a good brand, right? Yeah. Di Cecco is a very good Italian brand. Yep. But I'm sure there's even fancier. You can buy homemade stuff. I mean, actually, I still need to learn to make pasta. My nephew's done it before. I helped him once and it didn't quite work great. Misco pasta, I've got that too. I've got it inside for my pasticcio pasta. You're funny you said that. I've got it. But Rao's tomato sauce is very good. Their food is disgusting. So I doubt they make pasta, do they? I wouldn't touch Rao's food. Their pizza is absolutely disgusting. But their tomato sauce is excellent. So Di Cecco was Nonna in-law's preferred brand. Yeah, it's very good. Supreme Court going to rule on the tariffs anytime soon? Good question. Any day in principle. And we think it'll be soon. It should be soon. Carbone, interesting. The Pazzinis, if anybody follows them online, this Italian-American couple, and they just got pregnant. But they're really sweet. I like them, and they're very popular on all the apps. And they did a taste test of the pasta sauces, and Carbone was the one he liked the best. They did a blind taste, and Carbone was the one he liked the best. He was surprised. So, just so you know, thank you, Becky. Oh, all right, you getting cold out again. Well, not so. Well, 51. It's not too bad. That's not so bad. I don't know the other sausage. I don't know Rumo. Don't know them. Thank you for the thank you. Yeah, thank you, Becky, for the Polaris. I don't know what the Supreme Court's going to do about the tariffs. I mean, I really don't. They tend to be very pro-Trump in a very dangerous way. So I worry about what they're going to do. Yeah, Carlo and Sarah are great too. Well, I like Carlo because Carlo's always like, right? He's always a little clueless in a very funny way, or that's his face, right? I don't know which. Or he just does a very good clueless face, like what? And his accent's funnier. Doug, I don't know what that means. So CNN just reported the House will vote on the files next week. Oh, that's good. That's very good, Kate. Excellent. Okay. That's good to hear. I don't know what you're talking about, Kit Kat. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. Because the article, by the way, the article said the vote was going to happen in early December. AI said, no, it's not. It only takes about a week. Kite is saying the same thing, that she's now hearing that the vote's going to be in a week. And ChatGPT said, oh, no. They need the Senate and the president for the Epstein files to go through. And The Hill said the exact same thing. So I'm as skeptical as anybody about AI, but it is amazing. I use AI all the time. I used AI to make my pot pie last night. It was amazing. The pot pie turned out very good. Also, what I was doing with the pot pie, I mean, literally, it's like having a friend. I was taking pictures and showing it because I was like, okay, how far do you have to cook the meat? Well, you cook the meat. I said, okay, it's watering a lot. I took a picture of the meat. It said, no. The amount of liquid you're getting is normal. Keep going for a couple of minutes. The liquid will boil down. It was scary. I mean, I was having an ongoing conversation, sending it pictures about how it was doing. And it was like, yeah, that's okay how it looks. It should look like that. Again, if it's wrong, it's amazingly wrong because it was tremendous. It was absolutely tremendous. And again, the pot pie turned out great. And I wanted to add some mushrooms. And I said, for example, okay, I've got these mushrooms I want to add in. How much can I add? And it said, well, you've got a pound of meat. Do 6 ounces of mushrooms. I said, well, I've got 12. It said recipes that do 12 tend to taste more like this. It'll be too much with steak. Try 6 ounces. I was like, okay. And then I said, I've got these mixed vegetables. I said, okay, for those mixed vegetables, I would do another 6 ounces. Now, again, either it's lying to me and pretending it knows what it's doing, which is possible, or it's really pretty cool. But I will say the recipe was perfect. Now, I used King Arthur's recipe and then adapted it. I used King Arthur's recipe to start with, but then adapted it. Yeah. Yes, that was from a couple hours ago. Gunther, Jack Schlossberg, JFK's grandson, is running for the U.S. House. He's very good. Is he openly gay or anything? I never quite know with him. But he's very outspoken, super combative Democrat, which is great. Well, it was a couple hours ago. That's what I'm saying. Breaking. I saw it I didn't do a video on it. I didn't do an Aaron Parnas breaking video, but I did see it a few hours ago. But he's great. He's very rambunctious. Like I said, is he gay? Meaning I don't know whether he's openly gay or I don't know whether he's privately gay, but I thought he might be. But I wasn't sure if that was a thing with him. Even if he's not, we like him. I believe they just voted on reopening the government, Doug. Folks reported on it. He's a dad now? Well, then maybe he's not. Then maybe he's not. That's okay. Oh, no, it's fine either way. But I like to know who is. So he's very feisty and he gets in Republicans' faces and he's great. He's just great. So, anyway, well, that's good though. Yeah, no, that's good about him doing that though. What else? What else? He likes to taunt. Well, he likes to taunt bad people, right? He likes to taunt the Republicans, which is great. Pugnacious. Pugnacious is a good. He's probably pugnacious too. Now, pugnacious is a great word because pugnacious comes from. I don't remember in Italian if it's pugna. It's French word poignée, I believe, as well. But I think pugna is a fist in Italian. So that pugnacious is like exactly punchy or fisty, but like this. Yeah, it's a great word. But I loved it when I sort of saw what the origin of the word was. I was like, oh, that's so fun. Like from a, right. Well, boxing because it's this, I'm live on TikTok, Margaret. Am I live, TikTok? Margaret thought I wasn't live anymore. I'm looking at them. They're puña in Spanish. Okay, there you go. Yep, which is the same thing because puña would be Pugna. Si pugno. Is it pugno in Italian or pugna? I don't remember. Pugno probably. I'm gonna guess. Is it? Alexa, how do you say fist in Italian?
Fist in Italian is
Pugno, sì, ecco. Okay, yeah, pugno. So it is pugno. And pugna in Spanish, the same thing. The ñ is GN in Italian. So exact same thing. Pugna. Oh, that's funny, Fallen. But we're actually MP is bu though more. Pugna. Do you say pugna? But do you pronounce? I guess you pronounce it as a bu or no? Because it's the beginning of the word, though. I'm wondering, or do you say punya? You'd say bunya. Same linkage. The accent's different, but same word, really. Yeah, bunya. I didn't know that. Hello, hi. I know, crazy. We did a good walk today. You shouldn't be that insane. Somebody's wanting attention again. There we go. Oh yeah, you guys can see her. Oh, baby. Oh, there she is. Someone's wanting attention. Right there. Wait, where's the? Okay, well now she's looking away. She's being very difficult tonight. Every night she kind of like suddenly decides she wants my eye here. What do you want from me? I'm in the middle of the show. I mean, I realize we are ending soon, but I don't quite know what you want from. I'm trying to pet you. Oh my God, you're so bad. What? Is this where I try to make you bark? Oh, no. All right. Be good. Hello. Okay. Hi. Okay. Stop. Will you? Oh my God. And I took her out we had a good walk today too. Doesn't matter. Just doesn't matter. This is I want to play voice actually. But like, the problem is she doesn't like to play with any of her toys anymore. So like, I don't know what to do with her. I try to play at night and she gets the ball. She gets it once and then drops it. And I'm like, okay, seriously? She used to love little tennis balls and then she got over it. She's turning 16 in 2 months. But I feel bad because like, I'd like to keep playing with her, but she won't play with anything I want to play with her with. So I'm like, I don't know what else to do. Can I juggle as well? I cannot juggle. No, she cannot juggle. She can do many things though. I've gotten her new toys before. She doesn't like them. No, she likes toys that she can destroy, but I don't want to get her those because like literally she destroys them in 2 seconds, Tug rope, doesn't care. She's not a tug of war girl at all. Not at all. She used to like the little tennis balls and now, playing ball was her nonstop game when for the first 10 years of her life, she'd want to play ball nonstop. And then she suddenly got bored with it. And it was like, what the fuck? What the hell was that? She just stopped, she is a diva. That's the problem, Wandering. That's exactly the problem. She's old, but she's not old. Like she is old, but she doesn't act it like she still, she can run and stuff. I think she just, and that right there was play with me is what that voice was. That was her play with me voice. But then I try to play and she's like, no, I don't want to do that. But then she wants to play, but she won't play. Anyway, it's very frustrating to me. She's very intelligent. She's too intelligent. Chaos is the problem. Yeah. Exactly. She's like, play with me, but not that. And there isn't anything that works. I'll look and see if I can find more, some more dog toys and try, but it's very frustrating. Cat cat of 23 years. Wow. Wow. Laser pointer? Nah, it doesn't work with dogs. Not with my dog. I've tried. Yeah. Tried the laser pointer thing. She is old in dog years. Yeah. She's not ancient. I wouldn't say she's ancient yet. She's old because she's a small dog. 18 would be pretty ancient. Like I consider her now, she could be a healthy 75 or 80. I'd almost think she's 80 by her age, except she's not 80 in terms of, she's more like 75. I'd say she's between 75 and 80. She's not really 85, 90, even though her age is up there for a small dog, you know? But I need the doggy communications buttons exactly. So she can sit there and go, this is what I want. I don't want that toy. Cat toy balls. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. The cat toys, because they ding inside. Oh, that is interesting. That's an interesting idea. That is an interesting idea. Yeah. Oh, your husky was 17. Wow. 22 years. Yeah, that is long for, I mean, because cats make it pretty long, but most people I know, cats 18 to 20, I think, maybe a lot of cats, right? 22 is up there. 16 is good for any dog, but they're small, which helps, you know? Anyway, sounds like your ex-wife. I want to play, but I'm not going to tell you what. No, I want to play, but there's nothing you're offering that interests me. Exactly. Well, we will see. I will go on Amazon and try to find more toys, but it's not easy. Oh boy. Not easy at all. I like the cat toy idea. The problem is I don't want to get a toy that breaks because she loves to destroy them. But I mean, I just like, I worry. I don't think asking the neighbors helps, to be honest, because the problem is all dogs like different toys. Like totally, like somebody was saying tug of war. That's not her thing. She used to like balls. She doesn't anymore. She likes chew toys, but the chew toys I buy her, if she can't destroy them, she doesn't like them. So it's very, you're right. I almost need to see what the neighbors got for the cats that they don't like anymore, you know, or other neighbors with dogs where they're basically, no, that would be a good idea. Would be a whole business of exchanging dog toys, basically with other dogs that get bored of their toys, right? Oh, thank you, LM. Right, that basically, all her toys that she won't use, I give to another dog, and we just exchange, right? But it's a great idea because we all end up with, it's like with kids, you all end up with so many toys. It'd be great. Actually, kids is not a bad idea too, right? All of a sudden, the toys the kids aren't into anymore, get together with your neighbors and just exchange toys. You know? Oh, that's a good point for the AI. Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah. Let's see. Hey, boyfriend. So see if you can prove yourself here. We're talking about my dog, 16 years old, small Yorkie Bichon mix, still very spry for her age, but she used to love to play ball, and that was her number one thing. Several years ago, she just stopped. Now she comes up to me every night and wants to play, barks at me, tries to get me to play, and no matter what toy I take out, she literally will, I'll throw it, she'll bring it back once and then get bored. The only toys she wants are things she can destroy, but obviously I don't want to get her a toy she can destroy because then it's a waste of money, and also she'll eat what's inside of it, which is not good. Any suggestions on what do you do with a 16-year-old dog like that?
Absolutely. It sounds like your dog is basically having a little renaissance of wanting to play, but on her own quirky terms. And honestly, that's pretty normal for a senior pup who's got a mind of her own. So let's call this high confidence. You're dealing with a dog who just wants a bit of mental stimulation, but maybe not the same old fetch routine. Yep. One suggestion is to try puzzle toys that are more about engaging her brain than her teeth. There are some durable, non-destructible puzzle toys where you can hide a treat inside, and she has to figure out how to get it out. That gives her something fun to do without the risk of her tearing it apart and eating the insides. Another idea is softer plush toys that are specifically designed for seniors. Some of them are reinforced so the kids be easily destroyed, but they still feel nice and soft. And you can rotate toys in and out to keep things interesting. Basically, variety and a little puzzle solving might be the key to keeping her happy and entertained.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, this dog does not need senior toys. She'd go crazy. That'd be like getting my mom a senior toy. She'd be like, right? I mean, Sasha does not need senior toys. I don't know what senior toys even means. She'll destroy anything she gets her hands on. So that's probably not a good idea. But puzzle toys, she's never liked puzzle toys. I've done puzzle toys before. She's never liked them, like ever. Never has a puzzle toy worked with her. And the other problem is her weight. Like right now, she's a little over. I'm going to give her a little bit more water. She's a little overweight right now, so I had to cut back her food. Hello, you. Want a little more water? A touch more. All right, there you go. But like she's slightly overweight. I don't want toys that I've got to give her extra food. I mean, a toy that I can put a treat in is fine. But like, I know, great. They say feed her that way. Oh my God, she'd probably kill me if I put her food inside some thing she's got to figure out. But no, puzzle toy is not a terrible idea, but she's always hated the ones I've gotten before. She's never liked the puzzle toys I've gotten. I can look again and see like puzzle toys for small dogs. That's not a terrible idea, actually. We can look and see small dog puzzle toy. Oh God, they're all so expensive too. I mean, like she's going to do that. Some of these look like I can't even imagine her figuring some of these out. Really? I mean, maybe. I don't know. These look very complicated. And there's too much food. Like I would have to serve her real food in here, which I'm not sure I want to do. Interesting, though. Yeah, a lot of them are food related. Like I said, I would have to do her. I mean, we could do it, although I feel bad doing it at dinner time. Just because, like, dinner time, she wants her food. She doesn't want her food hidden behind some box. She's got to figure out how to hit the damn thing, No, but she's already got. I can't give her more food than what she eats because she's on a diet because she got a little fat. Yeah, all the puzzle toys are like they're food, which makes sense because what else would it be? Yeah, I'm not. They're also expensive. I'm not loving this. Not loving this. Well, this was a good idea, folks. But like, I mean, I'm looking at this stuff and there's just no way. I mean, like, really? We're gonna like it's this box where they've got to move the thing to get the food. She'll kill me. She'll absolutely kill me. Oh yeah, I don't see that happening. Oh, here we go. Video. Okay, so you hide the things in there. And then they've got to move it? Really? Oh, I see. The things do move a little. Okay. Hi, what are you? Again, you. No, what the hell was that? Now she's jumping on my chair. My God. You can see there. I don't know if you guys saw. She literally jumped up on the chair. And now she's back. See, this is when I feel bad. She's jumping on my chair. And now she's back in her bed again because she's like, No, I know she hates being, oh my God, she hates being picked up. The last thing this girl wants is for me to pick her up. No, I think she wants attention. She does want attention, but she wants me to play with her. I don't know what to do because she doesn't want to play. That's what I mean. Like she wants to play, but she doesn't want to play. It makes life very confusing and very hard. I will tell you this. Oh my God. No, I'll see about buying a few. She's back in her bed. I feel bad that she crawls back into her bed. But no, she needs more stimulation, but I can't find the stuff to stimulate her. I know, dance for me, human, exactly. No, the walk thing's a possibility. The problem is I live in Washington, D.C., and it's 7:00 at night. We're not going to go for, I don't feel safe walking around at night around here. I never have. So I'm not doing that. I mean, I could take her out. I could take her out just to go across the street and stuff. That's true. And maybe that would give her, you're right. That's not a terrible idea. Just to go so she smells something different and gets out a little bit. Maybe I'll do that. I don't think it's safe here. No, I've never felt safe. The problem is my neighborhood's a little more quiet, and anywhere quiet and dark in DC. So Get her a cat. She likes cats. She likes cats, actually. She loves cats, you know, but yeah, she used to watch TV when she was younger. Yes, not anymore. But when she watched all of 20, she watched the entire series of 24 with me when she was a puppy. And I always worried about what this was doing to her development, that she spent her formative years watching seven seasons of 24 with all the violence. I mean, literally, she would just sit there and watch. And I'd look at her and I was like, oh God, this is very not good. You know, just fixated on him killing everybody, you know, extrajudicially, you know. Oh man. Anyway. Yeah, the freezing things. I mean, that's about the problem with the freeze things is I don't want something wet all over my apartment, you know, and it's food related again. I can't. I mean, I had to take some of her food and do what I could. I don't know. I think she's bored. I think she is bored, and the problem is I've got to figure out what to do because I don't want to give her more food. I could try to do more trainings. Probably not a bad idea to do more training. You know, sit, paw. Except she can't hear me anymore, practically. But to kind of do stuff like that. But I'm going to look and see if I'm going to try some more toys, I guess. I don't know what to get her. She just won't play, or she destroys them. I got her these little chipmunks that she destroyed. They were cute, but she totally destroyed. I think all of them might be destroyed now. I think there were like 3 or 4 in there. So micro walk. Maybe I will just take her out. So we go across the street, you know? Yeah, but she's bored, you know, and I feel bad. But yeah, I think I will take her across the street. It's not a terrible idea. Oh, there's no problem with taking her to Greece because the Greek stuff, it's going to take a while. I mean, I may have all my documents very soon, but that doesn't mean I've got all I'm waiting for the next shoe to drop. You know, the Greek thing will not be resolved anytime soon, I think. Let's see, but I'm not convinced. So there is no fear of Sasha moving to Greece in the next year or two. No fear at all. TikTok of someone in Michigan doing a dog daycare? No. That's cute. Jumping into a pond pool. Yeah, she doesn't like water though. She would not like that. She wants to be played with, but she, like I said, doesn't really like to play anymore. She only used to like balls anyway. She didn't like other stuff to play with. Balls were her thing. And then she got over balls. So it's like, okay, you don't want to play with a ball. What do you want to do? You know? Anyway, anybody gets an idea, let me know. Yeah, tinfoil ball. Funny idea. The only problem is I wouldn't want her eating the tin, but that's an interesting idea. You know? Do I get bored? Maybe. A balloon? I never have seen I've never tried a balloon with her. I don't know. And then I try to pet her and she walks away. On the bed, I mean, she wants to sit with me on the couch, but like right now I tried to pet her and she's like, It's just, anyway, I think you're right. I'll take her down at least. We'll go across the street. It'll just get her out of the house, which isn't a bad thing. It'll give her something to do. Hello, you. All right. I'm going to sign off, guys. Take the little girl out. I am going to look at Amazon for more toys, but all right. Discord. Good to see you guys. Thanks for hanging out. YouTube. Ditto. Later, Gator. She already is trained with hand signals.